Cage. Peach. I could eat a peach for hours. Please.
Greetings and salutations. This is Cage's Kiss, the Nicolas Cage podcast, where we discuss each of the National Treasure cinematic masterpieces and his life. We also try to glean whatever kernels of wisdom we can from his character that week. My name is Linda, but this week you can call me Ghost Pepper Cheese because I'm raging. I don't know.
You are a hemorrhoid, raging hemorrhoid. And I'm Donnie, or you can call me Mr. Putin.
And I am Detective Sergeant Roger Murtaugh, and I'm here to let you know that the shot will be taken from beyond a mile. Furthermore, I do not know about my presence in this film, nor can I explain it. I am also Adrian.
I'm Kristen, and I'm ready to rage.
Yay!
Despite all your rage.
Hemorrhoids rage. Yeah.
That's right, because we're all raging today because we watched Rage.
Ah.
And we're not in New Orleans, and we're not in Georgia. For some reason, we're in Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah, this movie's alternate name is Tokarev.
Yeah, which I think was the name of the gun.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it makes it sound like it's going to be some fun, cute little Ghibli movie, but no. No, not so much.
Russian bear or something. I don't know.
But you are one that killed my brother. Now I will cut you off. I have tattoo, yes? If I move my back
Not
like
make
so.
fun of Putin.
Was that tattoo supposed to be scary, though?
Oh, yes. It shows he is extra special
Yes.
Russian. And not
He
just
is
diet
super
Russian.
special Russian.
Look at my back with the two ladies on it. They're scary, no?
Yeah, so listener, if you haven't seen it, good for you.
Don't see
really,
it.
don't bother. Yeah. But okay, so this movie is about Nicolas Cage's character. I guess he used to be like a mafia guy, a gangster, or whatever.
Used to sort of be.
Question mark. And now he's gone legit. And he's he owns a
gone
construction
John Wick.
business. Yeah.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
And so anyway, his daughter is about to turn 16, and she has friends over, and oh no, what happened? While she's gone, they get drunk and party, and they say that
got kidnapped.
Accidentally.
not taken, not stolen.
Just a little wick.
So, like, she's his dog.
Yes, they killed my dog.
But yes, so he believes that it's the Russian mafia because then, oh no, she shows up dead. And
They used to blow up the Russian mafia's cars, for fun, killing them, cutting their hands off.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah. It's just good fun, clean. Yes.
They say that it was a Tokarev old Soviet gun that was used by the Russian mafia. And he's like, oh shit, it must be the Russian mob. And
So he starts a war.
so, as you do.
A one-man war.
And then Danny Glover shows up and he's like, I'm in this movie too.
And I'm too old for this shit.
I am a police detective, and you and I have history together. You asshole!
I don't even have a part in this movie, but you're going to film me while I'm talking to Mr. Cage.
Cage, you crazy son of a bitch!
And then
At this point, she's
Weston,
literally too old for this shit.
then Nick Cage's son Weston shows up playing a younger version of him, a younger, huskier version.
Oh no!
At the chub.
Yeah, he's got the chub.
Yeah, the chub
He's
as
got
bad
chub.
as Schwarzenegger's legitimate son or Eddie Van Halen's son, the bassist.
Yeah. Then, so through that flashback, you find out that Nick Cage killed a man, I guess like a Russian mobster's brother.
He only killed him a little bit.
He was a boxer. He wasn't even in the game, but his brother's death brought him into the game. You killed my brother. I stopped boxing. I killed
How
you.
did you get started in the business? You're so successful. Oh, no, we should go. I don't want to talk about it. No, he's shy. He builds stuff with his hands and he hammers and stuff and he doesn't shoot guys or anything. He's my husband and he's successful.
That sounded exactly like her, too.
Yes.
And why
I
you
think
do
that may have
everything
been
you
better.
can? Oh God, why are you gonna kill someone? I'm leaving.
Well, Pisha
That's so hot.
I am so splooshed now.
I'm your trophy. I'm your trophy right now.
It's just a slip and slide in my pants.
He gives me quite the white on.
So yeah, his wife is there, his new wife, because they have
Brand
this
spanking
really
new.
they have this really unnecessary side plot about like how his first wife, the mother of his daughter, died. And now he's got his wife Vanessa, who's hip with the kids, and she's beautiful. And she only has one emotion.
Yep, she has a whole emotion.
She's so beautiful.
Yeah, we should just call her
Oh.
Lisa. You're right.
And his
So-
daughter Caitlin there was in Sharknado.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And Jem, she ruined the dreams of 80s kids everywhere.
Wow, fuck, she
King
sucks.
Jem.
Man, I would accidentally shoot her in the
I don't
face
even
any
feel
old
bad that she died.
Oh,
That's terrible.
this is for
But I don't.
holograms.
But then, of course, flash forward through a bunch of bullshit, and he, after starting a war, getting one of his friends killed, beat to death, I believe,
Yes.
and
Just love is like a
accidentally,
battlefield.
whoopsie, killing his friend, his other friend.
Hey, in his
Obviously.
defense, he did tell him to get back up.
And he was a rat. Then he finally fucking figures it out. Like, wait a minute. I also had a Tokarev.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Oh my God.
Soviet guns loaded, just lying around. for
I think
drunk-
I got it from that guy I killed.
You know?
And then he pieces it all together to find out that the boys that were hanging out with his daughter, who we all know they were working toward a threesome there.
Of course.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
even
the
in
one-
my notes.
The one we got the emo hair looked
You
like a
ain't
young Robert De Niro. Like that was gonna
Oh
happen.
my
you know?
god. Well, they ended up playing with his guns, and even though they're teenagers
Come
and
on, they're not
apparently
even
they're
loaded. I'm drinking tequila straight from the bottle and I'm outside in the rain.
yeah, my life has no consequences.
Pretty much.
That's like just like half a degree away from a scene in Zoolander right there.
Yes.
Well, of course,
Orange
like
mocha frappuccinos.
her stepmom tells her, like, last time you had your friends over, you were smoking and you left the cigarette butts in the lawn, and I had to take the rap for it. And she's like, so, be good. And she's like, oh, of course we will. We'll be good. And it's like, let's just drink some fucking vodka.
Yeah. but I'm also laughing at that. She took the heat for that, and like Nick Cage had to see at least 6 or 8 butts out there and going, "What the fuck? Like, were you rage smoking?"
Also, my new wife's doing it with the pool guy. Oh well.
That's what the movie's
Yes, they've gone through 7 pool men because of his rage. You fuck my wife? You fuck my wife?
I am your wife. But anyways, so they apparently they think that they're just going to get shit faced off of vodka, and by the time her dad gets home and her stepmom, they'll never know.
Well, they're getting all their stomachs pumped and painting the couch with purple vomit.
So they play with guns, and
they heard that her dad used to be a gangster. Come on, show us some gangster stuff. No, you guys are dumb. Come on, anybody's got loot or something. Well, he's got these guns.
I don't know. Back in that day, I think I would have been like, I would have been telling my teenage friends, like, let's go shoot some shit. But like, I wouldn't be like, let's play cops and robbers, because we're like 17, right? Or 15 or 16.
Hey, we're 16. Let's go shoot up some H.
Let's go rob.
I think they go in the backyard and like poke holes in their old Escalade that they're tired of or some shit.
Well, let's have a devil's threesome and shoot some guns.
Yeah.
But yeah, so so one of them looks off into the rain, because when you're a teenager and you get drunk, it's like you have to like, you're standing out in the rain, you have to look off like all emo and like.
There might have been a paper bag blowing around out there, and it's just so beautiful.
Plastic though, isn't the plastic pretty one?
Plastic bag, yeah.
And also when he sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, when Nick Cage was still there and he pulled the guy that he thought liked his daughter into the kitchen, he's like, "Do you smoke weed? Do you do drugs?" What kid is going to go, Yes, I do.
Yes, sir, I do.
Of course.
Why?
Can you swing a hammer? Because I want you to work for me right away. I see the way you look at her. It's like, the way I look at her? What are you talking about, Mr. Cage?
And then he says, fortune favors the bold? Like, is he trying to get his daughter laid?
Yeah. He's like, go ahead,
guess.
son. Give it to her good.
little bit eerie in that scene. It's like, so you're the young man my daughter brought over. Well. Let me awkwardly hold your shoulder. Oh, I feel good. Good lifting.
Oh, but this is all after he does the Cage thing of like, look what I know about mythology, and calls his friends Romulus and Remus.
Yeah, like and the daughter's doing a paper. She's talking about Julius Caesar.
Yes.
Like, oh, the die is cast, and all that shit. Like, yeah, it's like, we like had themes in this because like history, right? Yeah.
My themes.
By the way, I was with the mayor when he had a really pitiful, tiny press conference for the $25 million
That was so sad. But yeah,
it's like a Cage movie by the Asylum right here.
Really
right?
Uh-huh.
But just to wrap up the summary, here's the spoiler at the end. She came up to her friend who was looking off into the distance. And she's like,
she
hey,
basically
buddy,
spins him around. It's like, hey, you got your drunk finger on the trigger of a gun pointed at nothing, assuming nothing will happen. I'i'll spin you around so that the muzzle's pointed directly at my brain.
And so he shoots her.
Yeah.
And they try to stage it.
These guys that took my daughter, could you describe them so I could go kill the kidnappers? I don't know anything about what they looked like. Come on,
what did they smell like?
Russian to you?
Did they smell spicy?
Did they smell Russian?
Were they slathered in Indian food or something? Like, what did they smell like?
Do they smell like olive oil, vodka, or spices?
That whole scene was so racist.
It really
Puerto Rican.
Was it more cheesy?
Yes.
Did they smell Puerto Rican to you?
What was it like? This Puerto Rican piece of shit or something like that?
Right.
Yes,
It's like, okay, we got some options here. Somebody took my daughter. Puerto Ricans, Russians. What ethnicity did I piss off?
And was his friend that owned the bar, was he Irish, or
they were all supposed to be in the Irish mob?
Yeah. I think that guy, the bar owner guy, I think he actually is a Brit though.
So they're trying to pass Nick Cage again off as Irish.
And yet they give him this jet black hair, right?
Yeah.
And with the long jet black
hair.
sideburns. And when you see him, it's kind of like the look, I think, is going sideways because he might be trying to be elvishish as usual. But the way he is at his age and the way the hair is, it's kind of like, oh, wait, so you're the Russian mobster. It looks like a lot of things, but it doesn't look Irish.
They have the wonderful Peter Stormare.
Yeah, it's like he is in a wheelchair and he's here to sell you a single boy.
And okay, so he is fucking amazing with accents, especially like the European accents.
Fuck
And
Russians.
They have his character, like I thought it was like a Russian accent, but his character's name is Francis O'Connell.
Yeah, they took the least Irish cast they could find and had them all pretend to be Irish.
Well, the only thing you need to do to be Irish is just beat the shit out of people because, those fighting Irish. But if it was Italian, then you would be slapping around and laughing while you're beating the shit out of them.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't make Danny Glover Irish too.
He was just there.
Have to be Morgan Freeman. That's because I'm Irish.
But yeah, when they were
available, God.
I was kind of pissed. Like one of the first notes I took was when they're in the bar, I guess establishing character, really just being heavy as fuck with the reveal. But
being heavy in general. This is an old man action movie here. This is an old sad man action movie.
But
the Expendables that nobody asked for.
This really is the Expendables.
Yeah.
Expendables, yes.
Thank you, Donnie.
You are welcome. I knew it'd come back.
It's canon now. But one of them says that one of them quote unquote, was it like double tapped one woman back in the past and the other one did her too, and so he said that makes them Milk Brothers.
Yeah, they did.
What does that mean?
They said that, and you know what? I think my mind went and erased it because that was terrible. And now I remember it again. Thank you.
I have in my notes.
Lazy eye too, right?
yes.
Like the movie Partners.
Remember that time we double tapped that chick? Oh yeah, man, we were inside her simultaneously. It wasn't the least bit gay on account of that vagina.
Remember when we Eiffel Towered that girl? We're brothers.
Totally did a high five at the top.
She started rolling her eyes and checking her watch while we were kissing over her shoulder.
But I in my notes I have
there. It still counts.
Wait, she's still there, right? Oh, I don't know.
This isn't gay at all. In my notes, it says, does the screenwriter not know about the term Eskimo brothers? Who the fuck says Milk Brothers? That sounds like they were nursed by the same wet nurse.
Oh,
like,
it's an Irish term, you wouldn't understand.
Yes.
This is James Joyce's rage.
Or Milk Brothers kind of sounds like they both fucked the same cow.
I'm the milkman.
Oh, yeah, no, that's their way of saying that the chick they shared was just busted.
Was that the Donnie? Damn it! Did you just refer to the Pauly Shore stripper character, the milkman?
I mean, yeah, kinda, but also Keanu Reeves as the milkman in Freaked. He was Dog Boy.
I'm going to assume this was a reference to that Toni Morrison book where that kid was breastfed until he was 15.
I think it's obvious.
There was a lot this film didn't share. They should have. That would have made it a little more compelling.
You're like, hey, let us in on the movie.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Well, as it turns out...
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
You said the
Russian guy said, the Russian boxer guy, what was it he said? That he had this whole speech. He goes, no rationale, no protocol, nothing but blood and confusion. And that is the movie tagline. That
Yeah.
should be the movie tagline.
Yes.
They could also call it Rage: Extreme Gun Safety: Port of Call, Mobile, Alabama.
That's why I think Putin was the real hero of this film, because his whole thing is that nobody talks. It's all action, and everyone's beating the shit out of each other and shooting.
This is why.
Like, yes.
Before they talk, yeah.
This is since this is one of our straight to video era Cage movies. This is very much the point where Cage became interchangeable with Steven Seagal.
Yes.
Yeah, without the belly.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's trimmer than Seagal. It's true, but he's definitely got the Seagal hair here. I.e.,
Yeah.
it looks like he colored his hair in with a Sharpie.
yeah.
And I don't want to punch him in the trockle or the grundle.
No.
Well,
Um,
much like Seagal, the only person who can destroy Seagal is Seagal.
That's true.
True.
So like,
There you
like
go.
you know, yeah, I'll kill myself. Nobody else gets to hit me. Okay.
The screenwriter for this.
Do some bad things to some bad people.
The screenwriter for this is Jim Agnew. And apparently this was his third professional writing gig. And he's only written 6 so far, but his first project was Giallo.
Wow.
Oh, the Adrian Brody Argento movie,
Yes. Which apparently
which is one of the really bad Argento movies.
Yes.
Giallo. It's just named after the genre that Argento
Oh,
like helped
Yeah, I know.
build up in the
And
70s.
apparently Adrian Brody had to take them to Argento and the producers, the filmmakers, to court because he didn't get paid.
Didn't realize he was working on an Italian production, right?
Yeah, right.
There are numerous ways in which they keep those budgets down.
Well, and of course, it was supposed to star Asia Argento again, but I mean, that's a whole different fucking story.
She's basically the time bomb that destroyed Dario Argento.
I'll agree with that.
Because Trauma
a
was
lot of
fine, but after that, it's like, man, who's this stupid bitch who keeps showing up? Oh, that's your daughter. Oh, okay.
It was his own version of Rage.
Maybe Asia should have had some friends over with some tequila and checked out the sun, you know?
Well, she did, and it didn't end well.
Oh, wait. We know about Asia, though, so we know that she shot each of them just to wound, and then she groped them as they died slowly.
Oh, God.
Is that it? Is that it?
No news to you! Asia Argento, bitch!
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, and this was the director, Paco Cabezas.
From Spain.
Yeah, it's,
Paige was a really
it's-
big fan of his other movie.
and this is really unfortunate because he directed, as it turns out, he's directed a lot of episodes of some amazing shows that I love. Like,
Yeah, 'cause this didn't do well, so he did a lot of TV.
yeah. Well, he did like Dirk Gently. He did Deadly Class and American Gods. He's done some great stuff, but this movie, it's just, I mean, I think it's a good story, but I could give less of a shit about any of the characters. And it's just so very, very poorly executed that at the end, like, it could have been a great ending, but I was just so fucking disappointed. And I was saying, what the fuck even was
It was
that?
a good concept.
Just 90 minutes
Yeah.
of cheap, half-assed shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, much
Well,
like
it
a
was
Steven
basically-
Seagal.
Sean Penn did it better in Mystic River. That's all. I'll say
True.
about that.
Mhm.
That's what the movie felt like to me.
Speaking of eerie,
Well, I feel like, you're not given any reason to give a shit about any of these characters.
No.
And I couldn't tell if the woman who played Vanessa, the new wife, Rachel Nichols, I couldn't tell if she was a shitty actor or just given shitty dialogue and shitty, like, directed.
Little column A, little column B.
and
Yeah.
what's with the part
And it's
where
her
her tattoos start moving when
Yeah.
it goes into black and white and she kills everybody at the prom? We're talking about the Rage Carrie 2, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, the fuck was that her? Well, she was in a
Her
couple
tattoos.
Bon Jovi videos.
What are you saying I have? Telekinesis.
With your period.
Get in your
I mean,
prayer
that
closet,
kind
Caitlin.
of was, right?
Yeah.
Dirty pillows.
But apparently she was in Alias too, and I liked Alias, but like, fuck, man, I don't know. Like, we could have just dropped her character completely, and then at the end, they I guess they hint that Cage's character kills himself, and once he realizes
he really screwed up.
Well, he realizes that he's the cause for all this shit, and by now he's killed a lot of people.
It's just like Looper.
No, it's just like Curb Your Enthusiasm. As soon as he learns that this was all fucked up, just
that's a friend of mine in this porno movie right here. Yeah.
I think I made a mistake.
Well, I'm ruined.
Well, let's see. I kept a gun that I used to murder people loaded for my daughter to find and die with, and I murdered my friend, and I'm responsible for many other deaths as well.
But then through the closing credits,
call it a day.
Story about this kind of thing, warning me that people would die if I was really stupid.
Well, through the end credits,
listen to Danny Glover,
right? Through the end credits, they show like going through the house. They show like the police force are there, and they're in the front yard, and they show the body bag. And then they like pan in on her face, the wife's face, and it's like, why should I give a shit about like poor sad Vanessa? I don't give a shit about this character.
Hey guys, remember Vanessa used to be in this movie? Rage Vanessa too.
I think I would have
feel
just
like Nick Cage like picks his leading lady. Like there can be a movie that he has that doesn't need a leading lady like most of them, and then he's like, but I gotta have a romantic interest.
Well, this is also like typical of symptomatic older Cage, where it's like got to be a guy who has a daughter,
Yeah.
I'm a father. That's very important. You don't understand.
And Kristen and I were talking about it earlier online about how fucking annoying the daughter is.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Dad, I totally did that paper already. I'm on it. God.
I am so
Wait, why'd you draw stuff on your hand? Oh, I was just writing myself a note on my hand and it got out of hand, you might say.
Do you remember henna? Do you remember how popular henna used to be?
Yeah.
Way back in
Farm
2014.
remembers.
God damn it.
And
It's
then
like, I'm really exploring Indian culture right now. It's so neat, like how they have castes and stuff, and some people are just fucked for life because they were born poor. It's great. India rules.
well, I even feel like Nick Cage is even just like half acting.
Yeah.
We
And,
do get some Cajuness in the scene where he accidentally his friend there.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely see those those moments of rage and,
But like,
and
yeah, you're right though. Everything
sadness.
like
He was turned down like to maybe a 5 as opposed to like his usual 11 on this
Yeah.
thing.
Oh shit! I just realized that she's in Titans. Oh, how about that? Apparently she plays Angela.
How much I hated their house.
Oh,
They're
what you see of it?
better than Holmes and Gardens' house with the fucking like bright green paint and the wainscoting painted bright
Well,
white.
hey, he's got a nice house over there by the club. He's doing well for himself.
It'd be a shame if something happened to this house.
And
Oh yeah. So his friend seems to either run or own a bar, and he says like, "Oh, I know what I want for my daughter's 16th anniversary, her sweet 16. I'm gonna throw it at my friend's bar."
Yeah,
now
like,
don't sell any meth
No
to
meth.
the teenagers.
Yeah, no meth.
My friend is a good fellow, even though he sells drugs to children.
Yeah.
no cocaine parties.
Right.
Naughty, naughty.
Everything
Sell it in the
just-
ghettos, but keep it away from the schools.
They're animals anyway. Let them lose their souls.
all
You got
it. Exposition and all the scenes and dialogue just seems so fucking clunky throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
This
Even when they
is-
go into the whole Russian backstory of the war between those two, it's vaguely mentioned once or twice, and then you get the actual flashback and the whole story into it. It's like, this would have been nice to have had in the movie. This would have helped things and helped give a shit and given a little more background into it instead of, oh, do you remember that time? Oh, shit, wait, we did that in an episode.
I like to point out that this is shot by the same cinematographer as Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and American Psycho. And yet it looks like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, do we know what we're doing? Hey, we could get picturesque shots and stuff. Oh, yeah, we could shoot at magic hour. No, let's shoot at noon. Let's shoot the whole movie at noon in Alabama on a clear day and have it just everybody look all pockmarked, old, and terrible.
So it's Michael Bay doing an action film for Lifetime.
Yeah. And again, the budget's reported as $25 million, but I think they might have added a zero.
Yeah.
Well, did you see how much they grossed?
It was not much. As
It was
How much was it in
$2.4 million.
Yeah, and this got
that's
international releases. It didn't get a theatrical release in America. I looked around, so like it went to like theaters in like Greece, Lebanon, Nigeria, South Africa, Spain, and United Arab Emirates. And even in those markets, it didn't usually get above number 5, and a lot of them was like number 10.
Ow.
Yeah.
Well, there are definitely a lot of moments in here that just seem like it was supposed to be made in the early 2000s or the 90s, like the late 90s, like with the henna and the Michael has a shitty flip phone.
Oh, well.
Oh,
Like
God.
he's
I
a
didn't
teenager. Why the fuck would he like? This is 2014. This is
I
6
did
years
still
ago.
use the flip phone in 2014.
Yeah, but you're you. Like,
Yeah, well, they still
They
sell
still make them, and they still sell them, though. You know, like
Yeah.
the screen isn't going to get scuffed up. You know, there's
Yeah,
something.
drug dealers still need toss phones, so
he had a phone.
That's it. Like I was kind of hoping to find out that the kid was really in with the Russian mafia.
yeah.
That would have been awesome.
if there's been some kind of twist to keep to make him like diabolical and like make this into like an action movie instead of the thing that it was, like a gun safety PSA, yeah, there might have been something to it.
Yeah, it would have been nice if he picked up the gun after Cage drops it and shoots him in the back. He's like, A2, bitch.
I would have brought it all together. Oh, freeze frame and it's all. Did you guys ever see that movie Absolution with Richard Burton by Anthony Schaefer?
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome. where Burton's like, okay, you're just a kid, you're not responsible, and the kid's like, no, it turns out I'm evil. Shit.
Oh, I should say before I forget that, okay, so this was released in May of 2014 in the States. And just a few months before that, on January 6th, Nick Cage turned 50. 50!
Ba-da-ba-bum. He's really old. Da-da-da-da-da. He's not so young.
Well, you know, God bless him for not doing the Vin Diesel route of every woman he has to have as his partner in the movies is not in their 20s. So good on him.
So I think we should be on a Harley, and I think there should be some side boob visible, and we should be like totally having a tongue battle during the scene. And you should be playing ZZ Top the whole time too. I'm just saying, it's in the contract.
I guess that eases me into I want his clothes off. Clothes off. Nothing. It's another fucking movie where they go to a strip joint and not even nary a titty to be seen.
And the lady up there is wearing a dress. You know,
I was gonna say, you say strip club, but all I see is a tiny little stage.
Yes, with like this really shitty dancing.
It's a last-minute strip club. Yeah, you know, it's like in Ed Wood's. Which one was that one? There, the porno one where the Sinister Urge. Where they trick the young lady wanting to go to Hollywood to be a starlet into doing porn, and then you see her at the porn show, and she at the porn shoot, and she has more clothes on than she's ever had before. Like the arms are fully covered and stuff like that. Do you think she's talented, deeply and importantly talented?
That should have been a line in this movie. I would have bought it.
Oh, and also I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that Max Ryan, the guy who played Kane,
Max Ryan.
was also in Death Race.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah. Oh wait, that fits. Statham, Seagal, and Cage in 2014. These roles are interchangeable.
And another one with Joan Allen.
I'm a straight-to-video god getting revenge.
And I'm Russian this time.
Bad things to some bad people this time. And by the way, I'm an Eskimo for the CIA at this moment. I just think you should know that.
Are you Russian, Cage? Because you're rushing to conclusions.
I'm just saying I have a tiger pass.
Tony, I want you to go to the corner and think about what you just did.
I will have you know I'm in my corner.
Losing your religion.
Oh, man. Apparently, the guy who played Anton is in another Cage movie, the USS Indianapolis.
Oh, Jesus fucking
which we will
Christ.
have to watch eventually.
God.
Well, that's
God.
USS Indianapolis.
She's so excited.
Has any of you seen that one?
No.
Oh my God, dude. You do not even know what we're in for. Oh,
It'll be a treat.
oh God. Okay, Mario Van Peebles' directorial career has been checkered, but Jesus Christ, that's
No, I didn't know it was him.
yeah, I feel bad for him too, I must admit, but oh my God, dude. That movie sinks like a goddamn bomb.
See, I like to go into my movies not knowing anything about it.
All right, well, the hurt will be so fresh. Oh my God, I'm getting palpitations just thinking about watching that.
But it's that got me into trouble with this one because I was watching it and I was
Speaking of
like,
the asylum.
I was watching this and I was like, Danny Glover, what the fuck are you doing here?
Right?
And then he's like, I don't know.
Led me to believe that this was that 2012 sequel, 2014.
Do you remember when I stumbled onto the first Saw movie? Nobody does.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute. Danny Glover and Carrie Elwes were in a Saw movie?
Simpler times.
And then Nick Cage comes up and says, everything you've done to me. I've done to you.
How do you tell?
Already done.
Jesus.
Oh man, I think we're making our art here. Our
Only if
masterpiece.
Nick Cage can play Suge Avery, then I will watch this.
I's married now.
Oh, Lord. No, I think he needs to play Sophia.
Yes.
Sophie.
Oh man, I think that's gonna have to start being our bonus episodes where we just review other movies and put Cage in them and recast them.
That'll be a Cage cast.
Gee, what happened to your parents, Batman? My parents are dead! Bitch!
Oh man, yeah, I'd pay to see it. I mean, he can't do much worse than Bale, right?
You're right. Yeah, exactly. Batman the Bear. Where is he? I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying. You sound more ridiculous than I do at this point. Batman! Batman smash!
Oh, but yeah, this certainly was a fucking movie.
Yeah.
It was feature length, and it went to certain theaters in certain countries. It's like you really get everything you need to know in those first few scenes, where it's like, yes, I know the mayor of Alabama. And it's like there's like three reporters like, Mr. Cage, this is clearly a momentous event. Yes, it's the event of the century. Oh, I thought there'd be more people. And then they're at his friend's bar, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ! Like, did the bus for the old folks home drop off at the wrong stop here? My God! Like, he's got his fellow who looks like a rolled pork roast.
Yeah, my ex did a better version of this movie in the end for me. We were watching a movie and she was digging idly through the couch, and then she said, "What the fuck?" And I was like, what is it? You all right? She's like, "Yeah, but you fucked up." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she pulled out a black little hair tie, a hairband from the couch cushion. And she's like, "You fucking around on me?" I'm like, "No, that's one of yours. You bought them when you were dyeing your hair." She's like, "I didn't buy any of this shit. I don't fucking use these. You're fucking around on me." No, I'm not. I seriously remember we went to Walmart and bought these. Like, no, you're fucking around on me. Your ass is about to get beat.
And then she says, "Look at me. Obviously, you're fucking around on me."
Yes, I was like, "Bitch, are you for real? I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm gonna find these and prove it to you. You've dyed your hair 3 times. There will be 3 missing from that."
Wait,
so I go looking and she's like,
"Was this your old lady?"
No.
Oh, this wasn't even the old lady.
This was the bulk.
Wait, who's the old lady? I need to hear this story. I'm not on the episode, but
we need to get somebody else to pick your girlfriends for you.
Believe me, I don't have this problem anymore.
I like Lucille.
But I'm freaking digging around finding this, and she's like a ticking time bomb, and she starts throwing shit around the house.
Oh,
like, you better
she,
fucking find something
her
soon.
neck and taking off her earrings and like
Yeah. Oh,
herself
it's
up, or...
you have
Oh my
no idea
God.
how hood.
Was this the meth head or the sack of crazy?
I will just again call her the bulk.
The incredible bulk.
I finally found
all
it.
on green screen.
I found the hair ties, and sure enough, there were 3 missing. And I'm like, "Look, here it is." It's like, "I still don't believe you." I'm like, "Bitch,
You
we're
still
both
didn't believe-
unemployed." It's like, where the hell am I gonna go?
It's like, well, you've been in the bed beside me for 3 weeks, but I'm still insist that you fuck around on me.
She finally is like, "Okay, yeah, you're right. I remember when I bought this. I'm sorry. I loves you." I was like, "God, fucking die."
Hey, where'd this extra slice of pizza go? Are you fucking around on me? Is she under the sink? I will kill her. And you.
Is she living in the couch?
She was not Ike Turner.
Eat the cake, Donnie.
You and she had just done a delightful duet on Nutbush City Limits, and then she got you along in the sound booth and it all went wrong somehow.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
45 is the speed limit.
Back in high school, Donnie and me or Donnie and my friend Brianna would sing that song.
Was
I
and
don't remember.
Brianna called me the pleasant Ike Turner, and we would sing "Proud Mary."
Yeah.
Turner. And then every time we would end our conversation, go, "Don't hit me, Ike! Don't hit me!"
But I still remember fondly the moment I was hanging out with my friends, and then next thing I knew, I think I was like at lunch, and next thing I knew, with like no context whatsoever, my friend, one of my friends goes running by, screaming.
Yes.
Then a second later, Donnie comes chasing her, going, "Woman, woman!"
That was one of my proudest moments.
And my friend Jennifer goes, "Was Donnie just chasing her?" Like,
I was
like animal.
14. It made
It's like, yup.
Yes, how they say hello in the washer.
that is how. Yes, this is how I get the women, by being animal.
You're an animal,
To
baby.
answer your earlier question, old lady is also AKA the Crypt Keeper. That was my ex.
Yeah.
That's like almost
remember Crypt
20 years
Keeper.
older than me.
I recall her well.
Oh my
You
God.
do.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, when I think during this time, he was still married to Alice Kim, who was 20 years his junior. Nick Cage.
Why
that
didn't
is.
she have a cameo in this one?
I know you would
Couldn't
think
get her
so.
in the Irish mob. Or
My
something.
daughter's gonna get shot, and the clasp on your necklace
You're
is gonna
too good for this. We'll just put our bastard son in this movie.
Yeah.
I was
Not
gonna
her
call him
son.
the Mongoloid, but
Oh
no.
yeah, there he is. Yeah, no, he's got. I've got it running in the background, silent. He's got some heft to him there, little pudge.
So husky.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, I have some wonderful reviews for this.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, I want it. I'm dying to hear this.
Mhm.
Well, my
On it.
favorite one is What a Piece of Crap. Shame on Nick Cage. Shame. This one was the friendlier one. Cage is usually a good actor. My wife is from Mobile, Alabama, where the movie was shot. Cage was very friendly to the people he met on the street there. But this movie was a real waste of his talent and time. The sound editor should be fired. We had to constantly go up and down with the volume. The movie lacked any substance. I would wait for this to come on cable, or at least Amazon should make it free with Prime, which thankfully
They did.
But this was wonderful. Terrible. Let me spoil it for you. The end, nothing happens. Stupidest movie. Things don't even make sense. So much fluff in the middle. Ending is crap. Terrible writing by two dum-dums. Should be taken off Prime so others will spend the 90 minutes doing anything more enjoyable, like taxes or cleaning toilets, having a colonoscopy.
Accurate.
Do yourself a favor. Really skip this movie.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I often do colonoscopies for fun.
Oh yeah. When that
Wait a
thing
minute,
gets
you
crawled all
perform
up in
them
there.
or you...
Yes, I do it as a general service to the public. You see, I put on a meat cutter's outfit, and then I just stand outside the store with a sign that says free colonoscopies.
behind
I
the
thought there was a
7-Eleven?
camera. It's like there's an eye on the end.
Yes, these are on the off days when I'm not standing outside of McDonald's shirtless with a cowboy hat on. Hey, I gotta eat.
God-given right.
I need my cheeseburgers.
Speaking of which, though, of the writers, the other screenwriter was Sean Keller, and his first movie was a TV movie, and I'm pretty sure it's from Sci-Fi, Mammoth. And then
Oh,
the
sounds
second
like
one
it.
definitely sounds like another sci-fi movie, but he did the screenplay for it. It was Kraken, Tentacles of the Deep.
My.
Oh,
And then the one following that was Attack of the Griffin.
yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw some of these.
Mm,
Since
yeah,
I would still do cable back then,
but it looks like he's mostly an actor.
Yeah.
quote unquote actor.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's not a writer.
I write and everything. See, typity type.
He also co-wrote Giallo.
Yeah, which that's one of the few Argento movies that I actually stopped watching.
Wow.
Yeah, I got all the way through his 3D Dracula piece of shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I forgot about that fucking thing.
Well, as you've said yourself, you have an ass of steel, and you don't.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare that you call mercy on a movie.
Yeah, it's like Argento
Yeah, I
basically hasn't been worthwhile since about 2005.
Yeah, I had to call mercy when I watched Opera.
No.
Oh, the 88 one? Or the
Yeah.
1996 one?
The 96. The 96.
Yeah, the Julian Sands one. That was a real turd. That's where Asia started to drag him down. That's pretty much the moment right there.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's so many things wrong with it, and you realize what had been working for him before. Because in the old movies, you get really high quality film stock that registers color very well, and plus you have that appropriate kind of dubbing, whereas on that one, you have European actors speaking English and sounding ridiculous, and you have really shitty film stock, and you're like, oh, this is like a Hallmark movie now that happens to have gore.
Oh no.
I cut my finger open. You can see the bone. It's like, yeah, great, neat. It's like you might as well be watching a Fangoria movie at that point. It's like it doesn't matter that's Argento.
You have a point.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, should we go into Would You Rather?
Well,
Well,
having
if
watched
you'd
this
rather.
movie, it feels very much like a shot or stab scenario. Yeah.
I am sorry I don't have the results from the previous one because we're doing these out of order, and Yeah, no. Future. Behold. So
Is
and
man
this
still
one-
alive?
I came up with this like on the fly, so forgive me if it sucks, but would you rather have every time you have sex, Nick Cage shows up and makes eye contact with you and maintains eye contact with you throughout?
I just
Or would you rather be every time you take a shit, he shows up and maintains eye contact with you?
You know, if I pick the sex one, it's not likely to ever happen. So
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it'd be as bad as like Borat, where he's like, or not Borat, it was the other one he did, where he's like just staring right at you as a coach. He's just like, come on, you can do this. Look at me. Look in my eyes. You can do this. that might get in the way, but can we also do
coach?
Yeah. I don't know which one I'd rather. I'd still rather like
Yeah, me neither.
shout out Expecto Patronum at the point of orgasm because that just seems funner, but you do you.
I've always been a fan of I'm stuck. oh shit. What about you, Kristen?
I have to say, I think I would rather have to make eye contact with him while I'm shitting.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but I just feel like the other one would be a little too much for me, and I think I would never enjoy sex again.
Yeah.
Can you hold your hands while you're shitting? Because that might be a good deal.
That would be a good deal. I would do that.
I mean,
He could do Lamaze with you.
Either situation, though, you can just keep your eyes closed, shut tight during the whole thing. Be like, it isn't there, and it'd be one of those cheapo horror movies from these days where, like, out of focus in the background, there's a guy with no eyes.
Well, I just like the idea if you're holding his hands, he can't escape, and he has to stay there with you, and you can look at his face start to shift when the stank hits him. And you're like, we are in this together.
What I'm envisioning is you go in to the bathroom, he hands you a magazine, he's like, hey, what's up? And you like high five, and then you sit down, and then you just look at each other. You're kind of absently flipping through the magazine. He's looking at you, you're looking at him, and you finish and you go, okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, peace out. And then it's over.
He has to tidy you up afterwards.
Here's the happy hooker. I underlined the fuck scenes for you. Oh, thanks.
Appreciate it, Nick.
Hey, that could be useful, though. If it was a really savage one, he can help you off the seat.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll give you a courtesy flush.
Come on. Well, I also think that if you had him there every time you took a shit, then I think it would like soon lose its effect and its like shock value. But whereas with sex, like you don't want him ruining that.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? Celebrity sex time? Yeah.
I would rather have a shitting bond with him where it's like you're shitting third time today. He's like, oh God, Taco Bell again. Like, I know, I shouldn't, but
I know,
God.
I'm sorry.
Does that make
if it was the shitting one, I would be seeing a lot of him. I'm just saying.
Chocolate Milk Brothers?
You just sit there. I'll start a shower for you. Oh, thank you, Nick.
Actually, I think Milk Brothers is when you jack each other off.
Yeah. But if he was the full-on restroom attendant, he could get the poopery on the water before.
He would.
Like that seat would be polished and shiny.
He would just warm the seat for you.
In his snakeskin pants. Yeah.
And dab your ass with some powder. Here you go, sir. Clean as a whistle.
Oh, there we go. And credits are rolling, and we're getting the Better Homes and Gardens walkthrough of his house with the freaking trim. The fat fucking white ass trim.
Strong as I am.
Stop it. Stop it.
You guys feel ready for cagey wisdom?
Do we have that at our face-off?
Yes,
Whatever you guys want to do.
The cagey wisdom, could it be any more heavy-handed?
Guns bad.
Guns bad.
Acting bad.
Movie bad. Hate movie.
Vladimir Putin is a good actor. Yeah.
Adrian, were you able to find anything?
Oh, for wisdom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snitches get stitches.
Don't
Yeah.
have teenage daughters. They just grow up.
Yeah. Ship them off.
Just ship them off.
Yeah.
No, honey, you can't come home from Switzerland. You'd find the guns. We know how to.
Were you able to find anything, Kristen?
Yeah, I wrote down what I thought the moral of the story is. So I said, lock up your guns you used to massacre the Russian mob from your daughter.
Yeah.
Put a gun lock on it.
Right?
Responsible owners.
They had
Needless
such
tragedy
a
averted.
sentimental value, you know. I mean, he's out of the game and all that. It's like you could have just had those melted down or something.
Such sentimental value that he carries a bullet in it, and
yeah. He keeps a chambered bullet in it and the firing pin in it.
yeah,
You know, and the safety apparently is off too.
yeah.
It was just sitting there waiting to go. You know?
Mine
My car
was.
alarm's going off. I'm sorry.
Oh
If you
no!
can hear that.
I can't hear it.
Turn it off. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Mine was a big question mark, but it was gentlemen protect
Yeah.
women or some shit like
Oh
that.
yeah, that
Oh God, that was gross.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what you said is gross.
all that shit at the beginning, you know, all those speeches and stuff like that. It's like, oh, maybe you should, I don't know, take care of it. You know? Maybe you should Ann Hero a little bit right now. You know.
Well, and I would say honestly, like on an honest note, if you want to see a good movie about gun ownership, I mean, it's not really about that, but I mean, it's more like a slice of life, but it has that theme in there. Watch our friend Lauren Motory's movie with Jeff Marslet, Loves Her Gun. Just check it out. It's a much better fucking movie. But this movie, unless you have to, because you're like us, don't fucking watch it.
Yeah, you're really not going to get anything out of this. It doesn't even like achieve the fun level of badness at any point.
Yeah, that's what I was like. You know, I was expecting it to be so bad it was funny, kind of like Next. But
Yes.
no, I missed.
No, it's like
Next while
it's
watching.
like it's like that Michael Dudikoff movie Musketeers Forever, where it's just pitiful.
It's
It
like
is just
rain on your
pitiful.
wedding day.
A free ride when you've already paid.
Michael Dudikoff was in that too.
I mean, this movie reminded me, I'm flat out not going to be watching his Tiger King movie when we get to it, because I am proud to say that I have not seen the documentary and I will not be watching him in that movie.
Well, I
Yeah,
you know,
get
I
out.
was,
It's a
I
show.
was proudly not watching that, but when it became pertinent, I did watch the first installment. It's like, oh, rednecks keep big cats. Okay, this is a thing.
I
This is what
fucking
you
love the
do.
series. So
I did too.
If you live in
Great
Oklahoma or Florida or Myrtle Beach or wherever. You know.
Yeah.
yeah, Carlo used to live down around there.
Hi, y'all. I make my own underwear. Do you wear the underwear? I don't wear underwear, silly.
So,
More like innerwear.
I read a couple reviews where the people were saying it, like, basically it's so bad. I mean, this movie Rage is so bad that it's amazing, it's great, and you got to watch it. And
What
like,
the hell were they
no.
smoking? You need a substance to be able to enjoy this on any level. It's like it doesn't
yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't do that.
Nothing
It's just
redeeming
so
about it
bad
at
that
all.
you feel bad. It's
Mhm.
just
I think the people saying it's so bad it's good are the people that made it, because they want you to see it.
Yeah.
They want their
that's
money.
probably it. It's like you look it up. It's their
Yeah.
only review. They're like the cousin of the director or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's like the shitty movie we were in where it's like, oh, dude, it's so
Yeah,
great
no,
for a
exactly.
grindhouse. It's like, no.
No.
Like all those small movies that don't actually have enough reviews to have a rating
Yeah.
on IMDb, but the ratings are all like 10 stars and clearly written by the crew or their family.
Yes.
oh god, yeah. Sorry to munch on your flavor there, Donnie, but I'm saying there was one review where somebody said like every scene with his crew played out so silly and sounded like it was written by a
Yeah.
12-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, look, you see these old, awful-looking guys. They think they're cool. They're ex-gangsters. See, he half strangled that lady who was on crack, but then he shot the rope and she didn't die. He's cool.
Like, I feel like
but he was a street delinquent.
it's terrible, but it's not ridiculous. And
No,
I
but-
feel like to be so bad it's good, it has to be ridiculous.
Well, yeah, it's just that's why I said this kind of reminded me of that movie Partners. It's just one of those. That movie is fucking horrible to a point that it has at least some comedy to it. This nobody gave a shit to try,
And the action was all really forgettable and standard. Like
it really was
much like in a straight-to-video Seagal movie. It's like, oh look, people are in an abandoned building and they're shooting guns.
Even so, it's like, okay, your boss says, I want you to bring these guys to me. They are given orders. Bring him to me. They go to his bar, fucking fully loaded, ready for a firefight. And then they don't kill him. It's like, oh, okay, well, we got our guns. I guess we didn't.
They got to hang him
actually
up in
kill
that
you.
building without a roof on it, where they had
So
to.
it's
hurry up
okay
and
for him
finish
to
the
blow his
scene.
guys away, but no, we're just gonna beat you up and then take you with us.
This
Like,
is
you
another
could've
one they
opened with
might
that.
as well have shot in Eastern Europe, by the way.
Yeah.
And Kristen brought up a good point earlier when we were talking online that like the only fucking black dude in the whole movie.
Oh
they go,
my God. Well, no,
Yeah.
there's two of them, and
Well,
both of
there's
them are
two.
drug dealers.
Yeah.
I just keep forgetting that.
And they
Glover's in
have no
this.
place in they have no place in the movie. This movie is so racist. And it's so like
this is like movies. This is like movies made during apartheid in South Africa, where there wouldn't even be black extras, even though they were the majority of the population.
Yes.
yeah, and I mean it's like, okay, so the two black guys like in the movie have like there's no context on why they're attacking this poor guy and his girlfriend who clearly has no
I'm
part of
Sergeant
it. She's
Murtaugh.
out.
We have a history together that we're not going to illuminate.
Yes.
And I think with the
I forgot about Donnie Daniel
Sergeant
Glover.
Murtaugh.
I keep fucking forgetting that he's in this, and because I mean he's barely
I know,
in
and
it.
that's a shame.
Yeah, because he's my kind of Glover.
You got me running, baby.
To be truthful, Donna Glover is also my kind of Glover, but he's just barely fucking in this, and they say that the other black character is a rat, so it's like so he knows fucking everything, and the other mob guys like trust him with like, oh hey, we kidnapped this guy's daughter, just so you know.
Don't tell anybody.
You're in an abandoned building away from everything, and you're clearly strung out. We're going to give you details of our clandestine operation.
Yeah.
You won't remember. Yeah, it's so that scene. I almost turned off the movie and said, I can't do this week. Sorry, guys.
There was no fucking point to it whatsoever.
It's just another one of those where it's like it's one of those movies you go in there and there's expectations. Like, I bet there's going to be a plot, and I bet it's going to have twists and stuff, and I bet it's going to have memorable scenes and locations, and stuff's going to blow up, and it'll be neat.
Well,
Maybe that'll happen a little bit later. Oh, well, maybe after.
Okay.
Maybe
Maybe now?
no!
There's a lame chase
it's
scene, and
over.
that's
Those
about it.
guys think what they did just now is cool. That means that we're supposed to think this was cool. Oh no!
I don't think it was cool.
It wasn't cool.
No, it was.
And it wasn't
and then
lame enough
the
to-
action scenes when they were running and stuff, I
Yeah.
had to look away because it's like the camera work was such crap. I was gonna throw up.
Well,
Because I kept looking away because I was getting bored.
Oh,
It's kind of like a Jesus Franco movie where it's like, hey, should we block this scene and dolly in and stuff and maybe get a crane? They're like, nah, we'll just have the guys kind of shoot in various directions and the camel guy will just run around among them.
yeah.
Yeah, I had to watch this a couple times because the first time I watched it, I kept noticing that I would catch myself not paying attention again.
I blame you.
I had my Switch on. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, me too.
I was playing Animal Crossing in between. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's a movie to
Those
have
fossils
on
ain't
for
gonna
paying your
find
taxes.
themselves.
Yeah, on the
Right.
second time I watched it, I was like, oh, they were in a strip joint?
All summer long, sugar.
And is that Weston?
Yeah, I watched it. I just didn't care. I mean, the whole time you're watching,
Yeah.
like, okay, so that's happening. All right, okay.
It's boring, it's clunky, and most of it is just so superfluous. It's just like it's not fucking needed.
It might actually be less fun than Seeking Justice.
Yeah.
Like this is like starting up a brand new low.
Well, one of the reviews I saw said, "Just watch Taken."
I hate Taken
yeah.
though. Yes, I watched Taken and I'm like, oh, it's a PG-13 man on fire. Fuck this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, don't watch PG-13 action movies, people. Don't support that, okay? Those are bullshit. Okay, we deserve better. Action movie R rating. That's how it works.
So, were you guys able to come up with a face-off, Adrian?
Seagal, Statham,
Yeah.
maybe Vin Diesel if he's had a bad movie just before this one, you know. I have thought that like this storyline might have worked out far better as a blaxploitation movie, but like this is so shit. I don't even want to sully any of their names with this goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Like the son of Shaft.
yeah, you're right. Undercover Brother 2. This time it's not part 1.
Were you able to come up with something, Donnie?
Yes. So this is going to be a RoboCop version of the film. So that's why for Paul McGuire we have Peter Weller.
All right.
And Vanessa is Nancy Allen. Kane is Kurtwood Smith.
Bitches.
And Danny Doherty is Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh.
And my two favorite picks for this is Francis O'Connell would be Dick Miller and Chernoff would be Judge Reinhold.
Oh my God.
Well,
Yes.
Donnie, your face-off is appropriate because after this movie, I feel I need to go to a rape crisis center.
You do need to contact our rape crisis center.
Kristen, who do you have?
I'm gonna level with you, Linda.
Uh-huh.
I tried. Be invested enough in this movie to go, okay, who could play this person? It's
That's
like,
more than the filmmakers did.
I don't even fucking care.
Well, for
I'm
the wife,
sorry,
it could be
but no,
almost fucking anybody.
Really? And then, so I'm thinking, okay, who could be Nick Cage? I don't think this movie should have been made in the first place, ever.
Oh, yes.
So nobody
the
needs to
face-off
play
is
him
nobody.
because nobody should have been. Yeah.
That's fair. Your face off
Sam?
is fire. just burn it all.
Right, exactly. A
I'll sleep
dumpster,
when I'm dead.
gasoline,
That's not bad.
and then fire.
Burn it all and bury it in salt.
Cover it in gas and set it on fire.
From mine, I
Hey, Google,
have.
stop.
Google, stop. Just stop. For mine, I have. Okay, there's a little theme that's going to become obvious.
Is it another
Okay.
diverse cast?
No, not really. I have Estelle Getty, B. Arthur,
Ooh.
Betty White,
Ooh.
and Rue McClanahan, of course,
You for being enraged.
and Herb Edelman. Or no, let's go with Leslie Nielsen. Yeah. And why not throw Bear the dog in there? Who's Dreyfus? Oh, but yeah,
Oh.
now I'm
It
more on Kristen's side. I think she won.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no fucking saving this. This is
I promise I tried. It's just
this is like a Keone
believe
Waxman
you.
Steven Seagal movie. This is just like one of those where it's like, oh, I got
Just
nothing
let
from
it
that.
Die.
Yeah.
I had a really hard time facing this off too because like I didn't want to. Like every time I
You
started,
don't
I
have
was
to give
just
a
like,
shit
no.
to face it off. It's like
Yes.
like I
this-
wish
this movie's
anybody
like a-
be cast in this movie because I don't
Right.
hate anybody enough.
It's a huge dose of Thorazine. That's what this fucking thing is.
Oh my God. This is the only time I'm ever going to say this. They could have replaced the wife character, Vanessa, with Jessica Biel. Done.
Cardboard box.
Yeah.
Dude, at the end, if you
With
see
Foxy
the
Brown.
camera zooming in Jessica Biel knowing her life is ruined, it's like, awesome! Like, that would utterly redeem it all.
Also throw in Jessica Alba. Just throw in all the Jessicas except for Tandy.
Well, you can throw her in. She's just a corpse now.
Oh, and Eliza Dushku, who once Adrian gave me the line, oh, she puts the douche in Dushku.
I have to go back in time. Oh.
Gotta go back in town.
Don't bet your future on a roll of the dice.
And then I guess now's the time to say, please listen, follow, rate, and review Cage's Kiss on Apple Podcast and on Podchaser. And check out our stuff on YouTube. Also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Cage's Kiss. I also want to give a huge shout out and a big ass thank you to the people who voted for us in, once again, in podcast magazine, Hot 50 podcast. That's
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you just go to podcastmagazine.com/hot50. That's HOT, the number 5 and the number 0. And pardon me for being so fucking unprepared. I'm going through my notes trying to find my list.
Boy.
Oh, sweet
Look under
Jesus.
shill.
Stall for time. Stall for time. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Well, don't stop
No
for time. I gotta go to
balls.
work really soon.
I know. That's why I'm trying to move it along. So, big thank you to Geek to Me and Talking Shiz, Cinematic Blind Spot, Athena and Christy from Unpredictably Us podcast. Love you guys. And Assorted Good Pods and Kristen, wherever she may be. But thank you. Thank you for voting. And you are not a rat. Remember, you can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. I'm going to be honest, I'm not very good at keeping up on Facebook or on Instagram, but you can find us there. Find our awesome Adrian art on Instagram.
Oh.
And if you want to chat with us, go to Twitter. You can find us at Cage's Kiss on all the social medias. You can visit our website at cageskiss.com, or you can write to us at cageskiss@gmail.com. We love the emails. So check out my other show, Bedknobs and Broomflicks. Kristen's been able to join us with some awesome favorite familiars. Adrian, where can the people find you?
I'm on Demon Art on Patreon, and I'm Leo the Fox, LeoDheFox.
X.
And I am Unreal Goals on Twitter. I'm also Unreal Goals on YouTube. And that's all you can find me, unless you want to go to Pornhub and look for me as the boy who blew. Back to you, Linda and Kristen.
Kristen.
And me. I'm the host of Coffin Cast, and I'm on Twitter at Coffin Cast with the capital C. And I'm on Facebook. Just search Coffin Cast. I don't use it like Linda, but I'm there. And then I'm on Instagram at Coffin Cast Pod. And also, I am doing another podcast, an audio drama that's been a lot of fun, and it's called Dispatches of Disassociation, and that's at Disassociation on Twitter.
It's really awesome, and it's an awesome original concept.
Yay.
Yeah, it was a shower thought that turned into a podcast.
That's where I get my best
when you remember them.
Yeah, right.
That reminds me of Jeff Goldblum being interviewed in a closet.
He was a little uncomfortable because Cher was already in there and it got a little crowded.
Yeah.
So you'll be hearing from us next week when we cover Outcast, which you can find streaming on Hoopla, Voodoo, and Pluto TV. Whatever
Shaking like a Polaroid picture. We are all so sorry, Miss Jackson.
I am for real.
Peach. I could eat a peach for hours. Please.